The City of Toronto is refusing to grant a permit for a Christian music festival called The Voices of the Nations to use Younge-Dundas Square. Rebel Commander Ezra Levant has the story here. So, what's the reason the city has had a sudden change of heart after all these years and with no incidents? Well, let's listen to the City of Toronto's Natalie Bellman explain it here.
Okay, well, I've already advised Peter that we're not going to be permitting you guys this year for next year because of the proselytizing on the square. And that's a big issue for us. I know that in the past years we've had discussions with you, or at least my predecessor did.
Oh, really?
Had meetings with Peter with Peter with regards to the proselytizing, and outlined very specifically what was allowed and what is not allowed on the square, and that was not adhered to this year.
Oh, Natalie, sorry, just to clarify, did we prophesize this year at the event?
Yes.
We did?
Yes. Your performers did.
One of the performers did? Okay, in terms of prophesizing, what do you mean? Like, do we mean like speaking, like, or just singing? Or...
Well, it doesn't matter if it's speaking or it's singing. Either way, if you're praising Jesus and praise the Lord and there's no God like Jehovah, that type of thing, that's proselytizing.
So all of a sudden the city is against proselytizing on city property. And did you catch how condescending she was about the singing? It felt like she was mocking Christianity just a little. So Christian proselytizing, or trying to convert someone to Christianity, is problematic for the city. Well, that just sounds like anti-Christian bigotry to me, given that there's a Muslim kiosk giving out Qurans on the square. So what other events can happen on city property that the city deems to be less problematic than singing praise to Jesus? Well, I looked into it so you don't have to. I wandered into the quagmire of social justice issues in Toronto, and I did not enjoy what I saw. Not that I'd ever stop these people. It's a free country and it's their right to be this way. Now, we all know about Pride Parade. Some of what happens there can be a little less than tasteful, but it's still allowed every year on Toronto public property. But did you know about Toronto's World Naked Bike Ride to protest the world's dependency on oil? Just watch, or don't. I apologize in advance. So there's a bunch of middle-aged hippies cruising around buck naked on bikes, and that's all good with the City of Toronto. And then I found our old friends, the Slut Walkers, and this is their event from 2014. The city had no problem with their nudity, profanity, and just all-around grossness. Again, sorry in advance, these people are just so vulgar. Here. All kidding aside, these people probably need Jesus. I mean, they brought kids to that event. Yuck. Now wait, there's more. The City of Toronto lets the annual 420-day rally happen in Younge-Dundas. Here. Now, whatever you feel about the marijuana laws in this country, what you saw there is still illegal. And the City of Toronto doesn't break up the 420 rally. It happens every year in Younge-Dundas. Then there's the Al-Quds Day rally. If you don't know, Al-Quds Day was declared by the late Iranian spiritual leader Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini as an international day of struggle against Israel. It's basically a march to end Israel with a bunch of violent anti-Semitism rhetoric. Al-Quds Day marchers last year called for the death of Jews. Listen.
We have to give them an ultimatum. You have to leave Jerusalem. We've been negotiating with them for 65 years. We say get out or you're dead.
But guess what? Al-Quds Day had their permit renewed in 2014. And they got a police escort for their march in 2015. So what's my point? There's an anti-Christian bias in the public bureaucracy, and it's not just in Toronto. In Edmonton, the University of Alberta's pro-life group wasn't afforded the same free speech rights on campus as other groups. In Nanaimo, the city council tried to ban Christian groups from using the city-owned conference center. And in Younge-Dundas, Reverend David Lynn was charged with busking for singing about Jesus. Toronto says no proselytizing, but what they really mean is no free speech for Christians. We all know that. But the good news is, public outcry works. Alberta Pro-Life sued the university. The city of Nanaimo reversed their decision, and Reverend David Lynn's charges were dropped. And we are going to help Voices of the Nations too. Sign our petition, donate to their legal fund, and see Ezra's interview with John Carpe from the Justice Center for Constitutional Freedoms here at antichristian.ca. Smoke dope, be vulgar, be naked, call for the murder of Jews, but for the love of God. Wait, can I even say that anymore? Doesn't matter. For the love of God, just don't talk about Jesus. For TheRebel.Media, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid.